And we are live. What's going on, guys? Hopefully, you're all doing well on this fine Saturday evening. Looking forward to Kell Brook versus Terence Crawford now. I've kind of got that big fight bug now. I'm kind of hyped for it. So, looking forward to it, man. I'll stay up to watch it. Hopefully, it's a good fight. Hopefully, it's competitive. And hopefully, we have something to talk about once it's all said and done. But, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. 1 second. Let me just open something in the background. Okie dokie. There we go. Boom. Sorted. There we go. Okay. Just got a million things open in the background. Yeah, Big Dan. I'm not going to pay attention to that, mate. To be honest, I'm not going to pay attention to it. Fair play to them. They can do their thing, but it's not for me. I watched the Jack Cullen fight on the undercard. I quite enjoyed that fight against John Doherty. Jack Cullen, he took the young prospect into deep waters and he drowned him, basically. But it was a good fight. It was a good fight for what it was. Pretty good fight. And yeah, Jack Cullen, man, he's certainly a fun fighter to watch domestically. He comes to scrap. So that's a good fight. It's a good fight. I'm good right hook boxing, mate. I'm good. Very good, mate. Hopefully you're keeping well as well. Is this solo? I'll see how it goes, mate. I'll see how it goes. Maybe, maybe not. I've got no real plans for it, mate. I just kind of fired it up. Spare of a moment type of thing. See how it goes. Maybe solo, maybe not. I don't know yet. I'm not sure. Big Dan. Big Dan's trying to wind me up. Big Dan, he says, I've turned it off, was only there for Cullen versus Doherty. Me too, basically. Me too. Again, each to their own. I'm not one of these who I'm not going to shame anybody for liking it. If you like it, you like it. It's just not for me, personally. Not for me. I saw the walkouts for Rachel Ball and the other girl. And there's like a foot difference between those two. It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, JF, I've got Crawford by late stoppage. Kell Brook on the scales. Now, what did you guys think of Kell Brook on the scales? He looked like he usually does at 147. Very gaunt in the face. It's clearly a hard task making welterweight, but he looks diesel. He looks shredded. Looks in shape. One thing that's going to help Kell Brook potentially is that there's no rehydration clause. There's no, like the IBF when he had the IBF title, he obviously had to meet that rehydration clause. He doesn't have to do that in this fight. So that's one thing a Kell Brook fan can cling to going into this one. But yeah, Kell Brook looked a bit he looked a bit drained, to be honest with you. He looked a bit drained. Yeah, BG, I'm not watching, man. I'm not watching. We'll leave it at that. Big up to Hashman Boxing. Are you saying the fights that's going on now is a joke? I'm not watching it, mate. I'm not watching it. Yeah, right hook boxing. I'm the same. I'm the same. I've seen plenty of female fights at this point. I just can't get invested in it. That's what it is for me. I can't get invested. Just don't do it for me. There's something about it. And it's not like it's just because it's female, because I like female MMA. I enjoy that. I can watch a female UFC fight easily. There's been some great fights, like Joanna versus Wang Li, I think her name is, in the UFC. That was a brilliant fight. Brutal fight. But, yeah. G-Man Boxing, big lads. If this girl fighting Ball isn't a dyke, she looks like she should be. Hashman lost money on the Doherty on the Doherty fight. Yeah, Doherty got found out in that one. Defensively, he got found out. His gas tank, kind of got found out as well. And yeah, Jack Cullen basically just he used his experience, his size, his strength, and he outmanned him. He outmanned him. Good performance by Jack Cullen. Hope the female Ron Weasley wins. Oh shit. Yeah, he does. He does unrivaled. I'm trying to clutch at straws, to be honest, mate. I'm clutching at straws. I'm hoping it's a good fight. I'm hoping Kell goes in there and does a decent job. Again, I would love Kell Brook to pull it off. Nothing against Terence Crawford, but I just like Kell Brook's style of fighting. Always have done. His straight punching is something of beauty. His jab is beautiful. I love his right hand lead as well. That right hand lead from Kell Brook, it's not telegraphed. It's so straight, so accurate. Kell Brook is a great technician, in my opinion, and I love watching him fight. But I can't see him doing it. I can't see him doing it. Who's excited for Sam Eggington versus Ashley Fearfane on the 11th of December? That's on Channel 5, apparently. That's what I've heard. I'll watch it. I'll watch it. Why not? I'll give it a watch. Sam should win. I think Ashley Fearfane's shot to bits now, to be honest. Jamstar, good you've gone live. Sick of hearing that female fight. Yeah, I've turned it off as well, mate. I've turned it off as well. Where's McDonald tonight? Who are you talking about, Pork Talk? Ronald McDonald? Exactly, bro. You've got to love a bit of Sam Eggington. Why not? Who doesn't love a bit of Sam Eggington versus a 41-year-old Ashley Fearfane? Who doesn't love that shit? James Davis, wild as a bitch. I can't disagree. I cannot disagree. He could have handled it a lot better. Just hold your hands up, admit you got beat by the better man, and you can come again. You can come again. There's nothing to be ashamed of, but Wilder's just made a complete fool of himself, and that's putting it lightly. There's no coming back from this now, in my opinion. Not only because of how ridiculous the excuses are, but if you're a heavyweight fighter in the division, or you're managing a fighter in the heavyweight division, why would you want your guy to fight Deontay Wilder after all of the stunts he's pulled? Why would you want that? He's cutting his nose off to spite his face. He doesn't want a third fight with Tyson Fury. That much is clear. That's why he's talking now. He chose this time to talk because Tyson Fury is moving on. The rematch clause has expired. That's why he's talking now. Wilder wants no parts of Tyson Fury a third time. It's just as simple as that. He doesn't want it. And I don't blame him, but he could have gone about it in a much better way. You know what I mean? Unrivaled thinks women's boxing's quality. I think it's got a long way to go, to put it lightly. A long way to go. James Davis, I hope Kell Brook wins, but he's going to have a hard night. Yeah, he's going to be in for a hard night. The body work of Terence Crawford, you know, one of the most underrated body punchers in the sport, in my opinion. A lot of people kind of, there's a lot of bluster around Terence Crawford. A lot of people, you know, really do hype him up in regards to being pound for pound number one. But he is a very good fighter, versatile, switch hitter, brilliant finisher, and like I said, underrated body puncher. And I think that's going to be the key for him in this fight. That bodywork of Terence Crawford. He's going to break Kell Brook down in the second half. I could see Kell giving him problems early on with the straight punches. But eventually Terence is going to figure him out, you would imagine. Evening Boz, big up to Boz. You covering the Brook fight? I'll do a post fight for it, mate, but I'm not going to do a live for it. I don't do the live commentary thing. It's not really my thing. Maybe in the future I will do, but yeah, I'm not right now, mate. Not right now. But I'll do a post fight review for it. Jamstar, what time do you think the ring walk will be for Crawford versus Brook? Well, Top Rank, for the most part, usually are a bit earlier than like PBC and whatnot. Maybe 4 a.m., half 4 a.m., something like that. I'm guessing. It's not a massive undercard either, so maybe 4. Maybe 4. J. Bilo, what's up, Dale? The more hype I've heard from the Kell side, it seems possible, but I've been saying Kell will gas after 6, as he has done at 147 since 2017. Yeah, exactly, J. Bilo. And let's be honest, Kell Brook's gas tank at 147 has always been in question, even before the Spence fight. Go back to Carson Jones, for example. He bossed the first 6-7 rounds of that fight and basically gassed and let Carson Jones back into it. And it was a really hard fight in the end, really close fight. You know, Kell's gas tank's never been great, in my opinion. Even in the Sean Porter fight, he was flagging. So, yeah, Kell's gas tank at 147 is not great. Never has been. And now you would imagine it's a lot worse. You would imagine. Big up to Crazy D3 every single time. The man, the myth, the legend. He's here all the time, man. So big up to Crazy D3. Bill Billy, Wilder can always move down to bantamweight. No, Bridgerweight. Yeah, he could do. You'd imagine the WBC would favour him if he moves down. They'll give him a title shot. They would give him a title shot. Sam Eggington should be glad he's got poor punch resistance because, my lord, yeah, his defense is terrible, intangible. His defense is terrible. He's fun to watch, man. He's fun to watch. Unrivaled boxing talk and news. Just watched Rachel Ball first 3 rounds. Reminds me of HIV. My thoughts are negative. Yeah. I mean, I can't. I just can't, mate. I can't. St. Britt's hyped. I'm hyped as well, you know. I'm shocked I'm this excited because when the fight was made, I was kind of, you know, like everybody else, just nonchalant about it. You know, it is what it is kind of thing. But now it's got closer. The last couple of days, man, I'm really hyped up. Really hyped up. And can you imagine, yeah, if Kell Brook actually pulls this off, none of the major TV broadcasters would have picked it up. That'd be a crime, man. If he actually wins this fight and nobody's actually picked it up, that'd be a crime. But there we go. Yeah, right hook boxing, they still exist, bro. They still exist for Wilder fans. They are still, you know, hanging by him. I guess you've got to commend that in a certain sense. I guess they're loyal to a certain degree. Yo, exactly, BG. That's why I always laugh when American fans say, "Oh, this fight's a bit late." They were saying that about the Charlo card, I believe. Oh, this fight's the second Charlo fight. They was complaining how late it was, bruv. Do you have any idea what we have to go through over here to watch fights? Don't you know what I mean? Like, I've stayed up 4 or 5 a.m. to watch Chris Arreola versus Adam Kalnacki. Get out of here, man. Yeah, we go for a lot, bro. We go for a lot. 100%. 100%, bruv. Yeah, salute to BG every single time. Yeah, Unrivaled is a savage. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, that's how I'm seeing it, Bill Billy. Brook's going to do well first 3-4 rounds. After that, Terence is going to adjust and basically break him down, like you said. Going to be a slow beatdown in the second half of the fight. Who's ready for Dave Allen's return on the Conor Ben Sebastian Formula undercard? If Conor Ben is going to fight, if Dave Allen's going to fight Arslanbek Makhmudov, Victor Vickhurst, you know, guys like this, I'd be more than happy. I'd be more than excited. But, you know, he's going to fight Joe Bloggs, and it's going to be like an 8-rounder. So, yeah, I'm not excited for Dave Allen. I do like that main event, though. That's a really good main event. Sebastian Formela versus Conor Ben. That's a good fight. That's a big test as well for Conor Ben. Formela's a good fighter, good boxer, technically sound, good high guard. He does the basics well. Conor's going to be in for a hard night against Sebastian Formela. And he could very well lose that fight. Formela's certainly worth a bet if you're a betting man, no doubt. I think there's a good chance Formela actually wins that fight. Yeah, me too, Assassin's Creed. That's how I'm kind of seeing it. I'm picking Crawford, but I'll be glad to be wrong. That's my line of thinking as well. Again, I don't have any problem with Terence Crawford. I just like Kell Brook more. That's all there is to it, really. I just like Kell Brook's style more. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Crazy D3. Salute to Boxing Virus in the chat. Big up to Boxing Virus. James Davis, he says, in a recent interview, Wilder said Fury scratched him with his nails through the glove. That's what caused his ear to bleed. Yeah, the man is a joke. 100%. That's impossible, man. It's impossible. What's he got? Freddy Krueger's gloves in his fucking boxing gloves. Wolverine's fucking claws. What's he got in there? I mean, come on now. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yes, big up to Faust, by the way, for the super chat. Much appreciated, brother. You've been here a lot recently as well, Faust. So big up to Faust, man. Big up to Faust. Helps keep the lights on in the building, man. Well, on the channel. Big up to Faust. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. Boz, he says, Bellew with his handlebar tash, shaking my damn head. He looks like a right plonker. Yeah, he's doing that for Movember, any. I guess there's a good cause for it, so I'm not going to cuss him out. As much as I don't like Tony Bellew, I'm not going to I'm not going to get on him on that one. It's for a good cause, I guess. But he does look like a mong. It has to be said. But his status is positive, for fuck's sake. Jesus. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, AZ. Kell looks in good shape. Is there a rehydration clause? Because I fancy Kell to do the business, but he's going to be fucked over by judges. So there's no rehydration clause according to Kell Brook. And obviously when he was IBF champion, he needed to make the IBF rehydration. So that's not an issue here. There's no rehydration from what we've been told. So that's good for Kell Brook. He's going to be blown up. He really is. AA boxing and blunts. As long as Kell does better than Khan, then it's a win for him. Yeah, exactly. That's how petty those two are, Amir Khan and Kell Brook. But you're right. You're right. Boxing virus. He says, I'm not hyped, but if Crawford struggles with this Walmart I'm not hyped, but if Crawford struggles with this Walmart great value version of Brook, I'm going to be laughing. Yeah, let's be honest about it. Terence needs to do a job on this version of Kell Brook, in all honesty. He needs to do a job. If he struggles, looks bad, loses rounds, it's not really a good look. It would have been fine if Kell Brook was in his prime, cool. But this version of Kell Brook, I think the world expects a dominant performance from Terence Crawford. I think they do. Yeah, big up to Right Hook Boxing every single time. By the way, lads, Right Hook Boxing, check his channel out. Really good content. Down the line kind of uploader. Very knowledgeable. Really good stuff. As is Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News. He's like an encyclopedia. I can't even fucking speak. An encyclopedia of boxing. I can't speak tonight. I'm not even drunk at all. But yeah, check out Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News as well. Very good channel. Very good channel. Been following him for a long time now, actually. So big up to Unrivaled. Also big up to D Jefferson in the chat. Big up to D Jefferson as well. He's another guy with a channel. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Very good stuff. Constantly on the grind. So big up to Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, aka D Jefferson. Good fight, boxing virus. Fantasy fight. Pernell Whitaker versus Shane Mosley at 135. Pernell Whitaker all day long, in my opinion. Shane's going to be dangerous. He's explosive, but Pernell was a master at 135. I've got to say, in a head-to-head sense, at 135, Pernell is extremely hard to beat. I wouldn't back against him in many fantasy fights, to be honest. Pernell Whitaker was a brilliant fighter. I actually found out the other day, my uncle on my mum's side, he actually watched Pernell back in the early 90s in New York when he went on holiday. I was like, you lucky cunt, the guy doesn't even like boxing. And he just randomly blurted out, oh, I watched Pernell Whitaker once live at the MGM, I think it was. You lucky bastard. And he doesn't even like boxing. Fuming. He didn't know what he was watching. Exactly, bro. 5:15 a.m. I was watching Easter versus Bartholomew. Don't give me that. Exactly, bro. Exactly. AA Boxing and Blunts. He wants to see Dave Allen versus a real white rhino in a cage. I would watch it. I would watch it. Is UCTV still around? Yeah, he's still around, Boz. His channel name's changed, though. I think it's UC Productions now, I believe. Something like that. But he's still around. Billy, he says, Bill Billy, sorry. Being in New Zealand, the times are brilliant. UK fights start late morning. USA fights start late afternoon. Yeah, you've got it set over there to watch boxing. And by the way, big up to Faust again for the super chat. Much appreciated. I love these quotes, by the way. I love these quotes. Hilarious. Right hook boxing. I've got Crawford, but if Brook pulls it off, best be 1-6 for a nice bag of change. Yeah, exactly. There are some good odds on Kell Brook. If you want to flutter, if you want to bet, there's some good odds on Kell Brook. Is Glenn Rhodes the best trainer in boxing? Florence in Norwich. Fucking hell. I agree, James. I agree. I think it's good for Dillian White. It gives him longer to recover from that first knockout. Gives him longer to prepare for Povetkin, study what went wrong, and adjust. You know, it's good for Dillian White, in my opinion. As long as he uses the time correctly, it's going to be okay for Dillian. It's going to be okay. Crazy D3. He says, Yoka versus Hammer, your thoughts. I actually made a video about this fight, just a little initial thoughts video. And yeah, I like the step up for Tony Yoka. Tony Yoka fought in September. He's back right away in November. Quick turnaround. And Christian Hammer, for this stage of Tony Yoka's career, is a good fight. Hammer's a tough dude. Only the very best stop him. And even guys like Povetkin, Luis Ortiz couldn't stop Christian Hammer. So yeah, it's a good fight for Tony Yoka. If Tony Yoka goes in there and blasts out Christian Hammer, that really is a statement. It really is. So I'll be interested to see it. I think it's a good test. Big up to Jim McDonald Boxing. Sent my Elizabeth out for the night, having to cook my own tea, so I am while she's out, probably getting rutted. Fuck's sake. Anything for a bit of peace. Yeah, exactly, bro. Anything for a bit of peace. I know how you feel, mate. I know how you feel. Yeah, BG. I'm a sucker for nostalgia and things like that. And Kell Brook, even when I was a kid, was one of my favourite fighters when he was coming up, before he was a world champion, when he was fighting the likes of Matthew Hatton and Love Morton Do, Philip Cote. I was a big Kell Brook fan back then. So for me, it's nostalgia, to be honest. And nostalgia is a bit of a fucker when it comes to boxing. Kell would have been eating jelly babies and chocolate brownies all night. Probably, bro. Exactly, John Doe. You can definitely draw Bud into a fight. You can trade with him, yeah. Like Terence Crawford, he's a very good boxer. He's very versatile, but he's got a fighter's temperament, I would say. If you hit him, he wants to hit you back. If he's got you hurt, he's going to swarm you and try and finish you. He's a fighter at heart, Terence Crawford. And partly that's what makes him great. But potentially, who knows, that could be his undoing as well. It's a double-edged sword, in my opinion, that sort of trait. It can work for you in certain circumstances, but it could also be your undoing. And Kell needs to find a way to make it Terence's undoing with timing, accuracy, speed, and power. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Smash for like, lads, by the way. Be much appreciated. Be much appreciated. Funny if Kell KOs him in one round. Yeah, I'll be fucking laughing. Just out of sheer disbelief, mate. Sheer disbelief and shock. I don't think I'd even laugh. I think I'd just be like... I'd be honestly, it wouldn't happen, but you never know. It's boxing. The way Canelo banged out Khan was beautiful. Yeah, that overhand right, bang on the chin, out like a light. Jelly babies. Eddie, get me the Khan fight, Eddie. Chocolate brownies, Eddie. I'm a middleweight, Eddie. Get me the Golovkin fight, Eddie. Yes, hit the like, lads. Exactly, Boxing Virus. You know, guys. You know. Smash the like. Big up to the Troll Network as well. He's actually got a channel himself. The Troll Network. The Troll Network is driving me crazy, as UCTV says. But yeah, Troll Network's got a channel. Salute to Troll Network. Yeah, that's it. The Troll Network's driving me mad. Yeah, that's it. That's the quote. That guy. What's good, Del Boy? You watching the Sky card? Now I've switched it off, mate. I've switched it off. I watched the Jack Cullen fight, which I enjoyed, but that was it for me. That was it. I couldn't really stick around for it, you know. Yeah, Sweet Pea was great, bro. He was brilliant fighter. One of my favorite Sweet Pea fights was when he fought the Cuban gentleman, Hurtado, I believe his name was. When Hurtado was winning the fight, and Sweet Pea just turned it up. And just went for it and got the knockout, that brutal knockout on the ropes. A great fight, in my opinion. One of my favourite Sweet Pea fights because he showed that he's not only a pretty boxer. If he wants to get greasy, if he needs to get greasy, he can do. And he showed that in that fight with Hurtado. I think his name's Hurtado anyway. But that's a good fight. Den gave me a brand new car to drive around Jersey. Yeah, bro, I'm feeling it a lot more right hook boxing. I'm 26 now, and it definitely affects me a lot more than it did back in the day. I can still get round it. I'm just tired on the Sunday, really. I'm okay after that, but it definitely does me in a lot more. Salute to Christian in the chat. Big up to Christian. The Troll Network's got a feeling Kell Brook's going to pull off the upset. I've heard a lot of people say that. A lot of people are feeling the upset again in this fight. I think that's partly down to Terence Crawford's opposition at welterweight. We've not really seen him in there with a marquee name like Kell Brook, but people are forgetting that this version of Kell Brook more than likely is depleted and past his best. But yeah, I can see why people are coming to that conclusion, in a sense. But yeah, big up to Christian, man. Big up to Christian. Rachel Ball's opponent has great head movement. No innuendo need intended. Bill Billy, there will be some fanaticals in America on suicide watch if Crawford gets folded. Wilder losing was bad enough. Actually, I've heard a lot of American guys back Kell Brook, believe it or not, which I found really weird. A lot of American guys are rooting for Kell Brook. I think it's because Terence Crawford's with Top Rank, maybe. I think it's down to that, but a bit sad if that's the case. In all seriousness, I want a good fight, man. I just want a good fight. I want a fun fight. That guy, he won't be betting a penny on Brook at all. Love a gamble, but nah, not this one. I see what you... I know what you mean, that guy. If I bet on Kell Brook, I feel like it's just purely my heart over my head in that one. When I do gamble, when I do flutter, I do like to have some semblance of method behind the madness, I guess, I would say. Boxing Virus. If Dubois beats Joyce, who should he face next? Same question if Joyce wins. Whoever wins that fight, I would say maybe they could fight someone like a Charles Martin. Someone like that. Highly ranked guy, well-known name, relatively, respectable. Someone like Charles Martin, maybe, for the winner of that fight. If it's Dubois who wins that fight, he's got a lot more scope to take it slower than Joe Joyce fight, because Joe Joyce obviously is 35 years old. If Dubois wins, I mean, you could still chuck him in there with a Hellenius, even a Gerald Washington. I wouldn't really moan too much, to be honest, given how old he is and how far he's got to go. Big up to Adam Scott. Evening Dell. Made me laugh when Kell was facing off Terence Crawford wearing the sliders. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I noticed that as well, Adam Scott. I can't fucking stand sliders. You'll never see me in a pair of those. I'd rather be seen. Wouldn't see me dead in those. Can't stand them. I'm not a fan of the sliders. I was dating this girl, yeah. Not dating her, just basically messing around. And there's one thing that really fucked me up about her. She used to wear socks and sliders. It wound me up so much. It made me fucking sick, honestly. It wound me up so much. Just triggered me, like, way more than it should have. I was fuming. Triggered me, man. Like, what are you doing? Look at the state of you, seriously. Socks and sliders. Christ. That's not acceptable. In any sense, it's not acceptable. And anybody who can convince me otherwise, then... I don't know, man. Yoka versus the Jagba. That'll be a good fight. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. That's a good fight. I would take Tony Yoka, though. To me, Tony Yoka's a lot more dynamic, quicker hands, quicker feet, just better fundamentals. You can tell Tony Yoka was a very good amateur. Does everything pretty well, in my opinion. And Tony Yoka right now is looking pretty good, man. I wasn't expecting him to blast out Johan Duhaupas like that. I know people are going to say Duhaupas was old and past his best, which he was. But Duhaupas historically has always showed a really good chin. And for Yoka to do that was quite impressive, in my opinion. And he's certainly higher up on my list now than he was a few months ago. But that's a good fight, D. That's a good fight, D. G-Man Boxing, like I was predicting, bruv. I was predicting that a long time ago. Do you know what I mean? DJ Big Leg. I like Crawford, but he's done fuck all at 147. He needs for Spence fight or the Porter fight. If he'd done a number on them, I would rate him higher. But calling him pound for pound is laughable at the moment. Yeah, Terence is a great fighter in terms of his skill set, in terms of the eye test. Like Unrivaled said, he's got great accomplishments, winning multiple belts, being undisputed. But the names are not really on the resume. He hasn't got the standout names yet. He's got good wins like Postal and Ray Beltran, guys like that. They are good names, but he's not got the great names yet. That's Terence's problem. That's Terence's problem right now. Just can't get those big names on the resume. And eventually, you know, it's going to come to a point when maybe it's too late for Terence. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Salute to Jim McDonald again, by the way. Exactly, Adam Scott. By the way, I didn't believe Khan was winning that fight. I felt people were going way over the top on that one. I saw a lot of people that said Khan won every single round until he got knocked out. I didn't see that. It was close, don't get me wrong, but Khan wasn't schooling Canelo like I've heard some people say. Canelo was working the body, dropping the hands of Khan, slowing him down. He was the ring general, not Khan. Khan was panicking in there. He was flurrying, running. Canelo was the ring general in that fight. Clearly, in my opinion. He was moving Khan around the ring, and he set him up for a big knockout. I think Khan was. I think Khan got overblown for his performance that night. To be honest, that's the one intangible. I knew I got the surname right. There's Obelays Hurtado. That's my attempt at it anyway. That's my attempt. But yeah, I loved that fight intangible with Sweet Pea. That's my favourite Sweet Pea fight. The knockout was savage as well. How he finished it against the ropes. It's beautiful stuff, man. That's beautiful stuff. Nah, BG, I never knew you uploaded, bro. I never knew you uploaded. I'll check it out, man. I'll subscribe as well. I'll give you a subscribe. Why not, man? Why not? Got to help each other out, man. Up in here. These crazy times. Got to help each other out. Christ. Yeah, I'm glad Cullen won as well, John Doe. I like Jack Cullen. Seems like a down-to-earth guy. And yeah, you're right about John Doherty. In the build-up to this fight, he was talking nonsense, saying he was going to make Cullen quit and all that nonsense. And yeah, Cullen got the job done. Good win. Adam Scott, he says Crawford is a small welterweight. Kell should easily take his power, but whether he just gasses out is another question. I actually think Terence Crawford looks like a good size welterweight now. Now he's kind of stuck around the division for a while. He looks like he's filled out, Terence Crawford. I think he's a relatively good size welterweight. But Kell was definitely bigger, the more naturally bigger guy, the thicker set guy kind of thing. Big up to Emmanuel in the chat as well. He says the Argentinian lass just got robbed on the Sky card. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Emmanuel. I'm not surprised. It seems like there's one of those fights on every single Sky card now. Not just Sky, you know, BT as well, but the UK is becoming... Well, the UK is the worst place in Europe for judging and officiating. There's no doubt about it. We can't keep pointing the finger at countries like Germany anymore. We have become that bad. We are like Germany in like the mid-2000s, mid-90s. That's how bad the UK is now for getting a decision away from home. And yeah, we've got no right pointing fingers at anybody else right now, the way it's going over here. Salute to Ronald Finkley in the chat. Big up to Ronald. Hopefully you're keeping well, bro. Hopefully you're keeping well in these crazy fucking times. The world's going mad right now. So yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well in here, man. Big up to Ronald every single time. AZ's got himself blocked. Exactly, bro. Big up to Ronald every single time. Yo, is that the real Stig? If that's the real Stig, man, salute. Ah, shit, where the fuck was I? I've lost myself in the chat like an idiot. Jamstar, if Crawford trades with Brook in the early stages, I can see Brook dropping Crawford, but I don't know if Brook has the energy needed to finish him off without blowing the gas tank. Exactly, bro. Exactly. I totally agree. Like, if Kell Brook was in his prime, I do believe the guy's got the ability to really, he's got the ability to really give Crawford problems stylistically. Great straight puncher, accurate, precise. He hits with power, relatively quick, brilliant distance control. I think skill set wise, he poses questions for Terence Crawford, but I don't believe he's got the gas in the tank for this fight. But we'll see. Maybe Kell can shock us all and really pull it off. Who knows? Stranger things have happened in boxing, But it's looking unlikely. It's looking unlikely. Yeah, Yoka's good to me, man. I like Tony Yoka, D. I like Tony Yoka. He's really impressed me. I wasn't sold on him to begin with when he turned pro, I have to admit. And I'm still not sold now. You're never fully sold on any prospect, but I'm a lot more high on him now than I was for Tony Yoka. I think he's a good prospect, and he's stepping in the right direction now. It's good to see him. It's good to see him stay active now, because he had a lot of inactivity due to obvious reasons. But now he's back and he's fighting, so that's good. And hopefully he fights in the US soon as well. Makes his US debut. That'll be good. Yeah, Adam, I'm doing great, mate. I'm doing great. Been a pretty decent day. Just been chilling around a mate's house. Playing some FIFA, having a catch up, that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's been okay, man. It's been a regular Saturday in this lockdown world that we live in. Can't really do anything because I ain't going to get into that. I agree, G-Man. I totally agree. Big up to Levi Khan every single time. Out there in NYC, Levi Khan. Man like Levi. Salute. Big up to Levi, man. Big up. Levi always comes in, man. At some point, Levi always comes in, man. So big up to Levi. DJ Big Leg, I've gone for Crawford, round 9 TKO. Brook has clearly declined. If a Brook that fought Porter was in front of Crawford, I would say he has a good chance. Yeah, that's how I see it, mate. Basically, we are hoping, if you're a Kell Brook fan anyway, you're hoping that Kell Brook can rewind the clock and have one more great night, but boxing rarely works like that. Life rarely works like that. If it's not there anymore, it's not there anymore. We'll see. Nah, Levi, I'm not watching it, mate. I'm not watching it. Yeah, listen, Tasha Jonas, she's a good-looking girl, Tasha Jonas. She's looking good. I did actually see her on punditry on Sky. She's a good-looking woman, man. I can't lie. I certainly wouldn't kick her out of bed. You know what I mean? Smash the like, lads, by the way. Be much appreciated. Much appreciated. How many times has Amir Khan been knocked out in pro fights? So he got stopped against Crawford, stopped against Canelo, stopped against Briedis Prescott, stopped against Danny Garcia. 4 times, and he lost to Peterson on points. He's got 5 losses, right, Amir Khan? I believe that's the case. I think he's been stopped 4 times. Big Dan, Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell is expected to be announced for the 19th of December in San Antonio, Texas. Canelo Alvarez versus Callum Smith is also being targeted for 19th of December in San Antonio or Arlington. Great news, man. Great news. Both great fights. Both fights I'm interested in. So, yeah, I'm happy with both those fights. Low-key, I'm more excited for Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell, because I want to see what we have in Ryan Garcia. How good is he? Luke Campbell is going to ask those questions. That's the sort of fight where we're going to find out how talented Ryan is. Whether the power's real, the timing's real, the speed's real. We're going to find out a lot in that fight. So I'm low-key more excited for that fight than Canelo versus Callum Smith, believe it or not. Yeah, exactly, JB Low. Khan looked good for 2-3 rounds, but he knew what was coming after that. I agree. Yeah, it's ridiculous, Levi, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Salute to official scorecard boxing science. Big up to official, man. Also, lads, official's got his own podcast with corruption in boxing. After this stream, what I'll do, I'm going to pin it, I'm going to post it to my community tab. So check those guys out. Coupe de Trois Boxing, very good podcast. Really good stuff. Really good stuff, man. Yeah, Levi, yeah. Doherty looks like boxing's the only thing he's good at, basically. You're right. Yeah, Ronald. I was saying this earlier. Like, Kell Brook, to me, he kind of looked how he usually looks at 147. He looks diesel. Like, when you look at his body in that, he looks fucking diesel, but his face looked so gaunt and sunken in. You know, he looked drained, like you said. He looked drained. But again, there's no rehydration clause, so maybe Kell can actually rehydrate effectively and get enough of that weight back to be efficient on fight night. The thing is, though, people think that, you know, you can overdo it with rehydration, though. You can overdo it. If you overdo it too much and take on too much fluid, you can be sluggish and slow. Kell needs to be worried. He needs to be wary not to do that in this fight. Don't put too much back on, but enough so you're comfortable, kind of thing. But, you know, Kell knows his own body. I'm sure he's going to get it right. Levi Khan. Crawford weighed 175 when he started training for Brook after COVID lockdown and had another baby, his 7th with Big Mama. Yeah, Terence has got a big family, man. Terence has got a big family. Big up to Terence, man. It's good, though. It's good, though. I liked what Terence Crawford said in regards to lockdown as well, by the way. He was kind of doubting it and, yeah, being skeptical in regards to lockdown. I appreciated that from Terence Crawford. It's good to see big-name fighters actually question things. I like Terence Crawford. I just like Kell Brook more. That's the only thing. I like Terence, though. I like Terence. Terence is a quiet dude. I can kind of relate to that. I'm not one of those hooter and hollering guys in real life. That's not my style. Terence is one of those sort of guys as well. So I can relate to Terence in a sense. Yeah, Brook's taken far too much damage over the years to compete with Bud tonight, but I wouldn't hate the upset. An upset madness, yeah. To be fair, though, Brook's only really taken 2 bad beatings. The Spence fight and the Golovkin fight. Other than that, he's not taken too much. The Carson Jones fight was the 3rd worst, I would say. See, I've not seen it, G-Man. I've not seen it. Pork talk. I told Den to sign Mark Heffron because he ices people, doesn't he? Ice baby, yeah. Fuck's sake. Yeah, Bomac is a big dude, Crazy D3. He's a big dude. I'll tell you what, though, Bomac, when I've heard him commentate on top-ranked cards, he's a very good commentator, Bomac. He makes good observations, doesn't talk too much. I quite like Bomac on commentary, to be honest. And as a trainer, you know, he's doing some good things with Terence, done some good things with Jamel Herring as well. I believe he trains Herring. So, yeah, he's good, man. He's good. Yeah, bro, exactly, the Stig. It's terrible over here, UK judging. It's terrible. Chaz Witherspoon versus Rydell Booker. Loser leaves town. Yeah, I'll take Chaz Witherspoon in that fight, by the way. Why do so many people make pedo jokes at Matchroom Adam Smith? Because he looks like one, bro. That's really all there is to it. He looks like a bit of a creep, I guess. And yeah, that's all there is to it. But yeah, Adam Smith, man. I'm not a big fan of Adam Smith, to be honest. I'm not a big fan. Crazy D3, this is interesting. If crowds were available, Eddie wouldn't have the balls to have a female triple header. I think I agree, Crazy D3. I think I agree. And there's a reason why this whole card is free on YouTube, free on Facebook. There's a reason for that. They're going to try and inflate the numbers, basically. And fair play to him. You've got to grow it somehow, I guess. I'm not hating on it, but all I'm saying is I don't think the demand is there for female boxing. I don't think it's really there like people think it is. Exactly, bro. Big up D every time. D's a great dude, man. Got a lot of time for D. What's your thoughts on Tommy Fury? To me, he looks like a novice, to be honest, James Davis. It's clear that he's had no real amateur background. He's going to take a long, long time to really develop. Can he go anywhere? I'll never rule somebody completely out, but I think it's unlikely that Tommy Fury really achieves much in boxing, and especially when he's got outside the ring pursuits as well that he can focus on. Like, boxing doesn't have to work for Tommy Fury, as we know. So I'm not convinced by Tommy, in all honesty. Looks like a strong kid, though. Looks like a strong kid. Yeah, Gassiev beat Safari, Levi Khan. He beat Nuri Safari, first round knockout. John Doherty should take the train out of Dodge. Consider it severance pay. Kell looks awful when he makes 147. You just can't put your body through that, then jump in a pro ring 24 hours later, expecting to outperform someone like Crawford. Yeah, you leave yourself in a bad spot, man. You really do. Yo, big up to Abstract Boxing and stuff. A long time no see, man. Long time no see. Hopefully you're keeping well, bro. Not heard from you in a long time, man. Hopefully you're keeping well. Nice to see you here, bro. Real talk, though. Nice to see you here. It's always good seeing like the older faces pop up now and again, man. It's good. Yeah, Braders Prescott. Yeah, he nearly killed Amir Khan. He nearly killed him. 6 losses, okay. I knew it was something like that. Interesting. If Brook wins, he'll be fighting in USA as a top-ranked guy. ? That's interesting because Kell Brook is officially a free agent. You would imagine if Kell actually wins this fight, Top Rank are going to have some sort of say in regards to his next fight. According to Kell Brook, this fight has a rematch clause in case Kell Brook wins. So, yeah, if Kell wins, he's going to rematch Terence Crawford. And even if he beats Terence again, you would imagine Top Rank are going to have some sort of clause to keep Kell Brook for his next fight after that. You would imagine. I would certainly do that if I was Bob Arum. I would certainly do that. No problem, official man. No problem at all. Just have to ask, mate. I've got no problem putting your stuff out there, bro. No problem at all. No problem at all. I plan on doing like a channel recommendation video early 2021, like best boxing channels 2021, and I'm going to put everybody who I've mentioned before in that video as recommendations, kind of thing. That's my plan anyway. That's the plan. Yeah, I agree, Adam Scott. Like, Kell Brook, to me, I felt Kell Brook won one round against Golovkin. He was, don't get me wrong, he was fighting hard, doing some good stuff in there, but to me, Kell Brook, he won like 1 round, maybe 2 in that fight, in my opinion anyway. Levi Khan, why do the Ingle Gym have a bad rap for PEDs? Kid Galahad is the guy who tested positive under the Ingle Gym. I believe John Faxton did as well years and years ago under the Ingle Gym. Was there another guy as well? What's his name? I think the cruiserweight guy Dominic Ingle was working with. I forgot the guy's name. Ngabu, I think his name was. The guy who fought Lawrence Sokoli. I think he tested positive as well for PEDs. So there's been a bit of history with the Ingle Gym. And when you look at someone like Liam Williams now, again, a lot of people are speculating if Liam is completely natural. But yeah, there's a lot of rumours in regards to the Ingle Gym. I've heard a few things off the record as well, which I wouldn't repeat because I can't. It's not verifiable. But yeah, I've heard a few things about the Ingle Gym. Do you know what the best thing about a YouTube channel, as small as this channel is, you do hear things from people. People actually, like, I've heard a few things about certain situations, which I won't put out there unless somebody says I could, but it's interesting. It's kind of interesting to hear things that you don't really expect to hear. There's only one thing I would love to put out there, but I can't. Unfortunately, I can't. DJ Big Leg, Garcia leaves his chin out to dry when he steps up. I believe he's going to get KO'd, so I hope Campbell can do it. Yeah, you're right about the chin with Ryan Garcia. Funnily enough, we were talking about Amir Khan earlier on. He actually's got that Khan chin in the air type of stance almost when he throws punches. Great hand speed, but the chin is there to be found. If you can time that, if you can time Ryan in between his punches, he's there to be hit. And I think Luke can hurt Ryan. Luke's not a big puncher, but he's precise and he hits hard enough. So Luke could hurt Ryan. He could hurt Ryan, in my opinion. I wouldn't be shocked if Luke hurts Ryan. I'm not convinced by Ryan's chin. Do you know when you? I know it's not. I know it sounds really stupid, right? But do you ever judge chin sometimes just by looking at somebody? You just have an inkling that just by looking at somebody they can or they can't take a punch. Like you get that intuition in regards to people's chins, and a lot of the time it's right. Like I felt that about Kovalev, like years before he lost to Ward. I felt there was like a bully mentality there, and he didn't have the best chin, and that kind of worked out to be the case with Kovalev. Things like that. Jamstar, Brooks looked more dehydrated in the face against Spence than Crawford. Probably made the weight better in this fight. Yeah, according to Kell Brook, his weight's been a lot lower for a lot longer time. So cutting down has not been as hard. He's been managing his weight a lot better recently, apparently. So hopefully that's the case. J-Dev, Del and Terence both like them fat birds. I like thick girls, man. I don't like fat girls. Get it right, man. Get it right. Christ. Terence is getting some abuse in the chat. Mike W. Stacey, he's hoping Kell Brook knocks him the fuck out. Yeah, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it? It'd be crazy to see. It'd be crazy to see. I'll tell you what, if Kell Brook pulls this off, in regards to British boxers' wins away from home, that'll be right up there. That'll be right up there. I would actually rank that above Tyson Fury beating Klitschko in Germany, believe it or not, if Kell Brook beats Terence Crawford. Just because of the state Kell Brook is in right now and, you know, what people expect. That win would be right up there amongst the best away wins for a British fighter. Bomac, aka Big Mac. Cudsy, he says, it'd be interesting to see Matchroom begging for Kell back if he beats Crawford. Yeah, that's going to happen, Cudsy. That's boxing for you. You know, people smile in your face and they'll stab you in the back. That's not just boxing, though. That's life in general. You know, when somebody thinks you're down, they'll rub their hands with you and they'll get rid of you. But when you come back up, these same people who wrote you off are gonna want to, you know, say how great you are. That's life in general, I guess. That's life in general, and boxing is full of those sort of people, I would assume. You could argue that, Bestig. You could definitely argue that. Beautiful. Yeah, smash the like, lads. Be much appreciated. Smash that like. Jab the like, whatever you want to say. Yeah, Breidis Prescott. Yeah, he gave Amir Khan the Elvis Presley legs. Yeah, man, that was nasty. The referee actually should have stopped that fight after the first knockdown because Khan was all over the shop after that first knockdown, but he let him get knocked out cold, man. He let him get fucking poleaxed. I agree, Adam Moore. I totally agree. Brook needs to make his mark early in this fight. If Kell Brook is to pull this fight off, I think it is early. It needs to be early while he's still fresh, while he's still relatively quick and hits hard. I think he needs to take Crawford out early. And Crawford does sometimes take slow starts in fights. He looks at his opponents, figures out what's in front of him. And in those moments, Terence does get hit a little bit. He can get caught. We saw that against Kavalauskas, for example. We saw that against Benavidez. Even Amir Khan was tagging Terence Crawford early on in their fight. So, listen, you never know. I'll be interested. I would be interested to see what happens if Terence lands a flush straight right hand on Terence. How's Terence going to how's he going to cope with it? How's he going to take it? Can Terence take that power from Kell Brook? Because to me, Kell Brook, at his best, well, let's say Kell Brook isn't like completely depleted. I would say Kell Brook's the hardest puncher Terence has fought, especially at welterweight. Easily. So it makes you wonder if you can land something on Terence. Who knows? And I think Terence can be hurt. By the way, I saw the guy hurt against Kavalauskas. I thought he was hurt against Kavalauskas. He was buzzed a couple of times in that fight. Not majorly, like it wasn't anything crazy, but he got buzzed a couple of times. So you never know. Levi Khan, Eddie tight with his Corona budget, so he needs to make history with an all-women's card. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Levi Khan, Usyk versus Hunter rematch at heavyweight now needs to go on. Sorry, now needs to happen. Apparently, Michael Hunter and Filip Hrgović could fight. Both guys have tune-ups in their next fight, apparently. Hrgović is fighting in Croatia, and Michael Hunter's fighting in Texas, I believe. Both guys are going to have tune-up fights for their next fights. And apparently that fight could happen next year. Filip Hrgović versus Michael Hunter. That'd be a great fight, by the way. That's the sort of fight both guys really need right now. Hrgović versus Hunter would be a great fight. I'd love to see it. It's a risky fight for Hrgović, though. Really risky fight. Because Michael Hunter can really box. I think Michael Hunter is very dangerous. I think Michael Hunter is a very good fighter. Great boxer, hand speed, volume, foot speed. He can mix it up a bit. He's got a good chin for a cruiserweight coming up as well. He took some hard shots from Povetkin, flush. And yeah, he got hurt a couple of times, but Hunter showed a pretty good chin in that fight. Took punches from Bakole. Hunter's got a good chin, and he can box. He's got a good gas tank as well. Hunter's a good fighter. Best believe it. Hunter can really fight, in my opinion. I think he's very good. Very good fighter. Underrated fighter. I still think he's underrated right now, even now. But I'm a Michael Hunter fan, so maybe that's just me being biased. That could be the case. Yeah, that's it, Levi. That's it, yeah. And Filip Hrgović is fighting in Croatia in, I think it's in December. You're probably right, G-Man. You're probably right, mate. You're probably right. Abstract boxing. Who remembers when Adam Smith, upon seeing Bomber on the back of Tony Bellew's dressing gown, actually pointed out that it wasn't about the terrorist bombing? Yeah, I know, man. He's a complete, like, that was complete Alan Partridge-esque, that comment from Adam Smith. I think so, Levi. I think so. He's in it for the limelight. Yeah, G-Man, I agree, mate. I agree. He's a part-time boxer, as far as I'm concerned. Part-time boxer, part-time reality TV star. And he's not got a great amateur background. Yeah, I don't see it happening. To be fair, Crazy D3, a lot of people know who Tommy Fury is over here because of his reality TV nonsense. A lot of people know who he is. Unfortunately. Jay Belo, Tommy Fury has some serious attributes. He's training with Tyson. The jury is out on that kid, but I hope he does well. Yeah, he looks like a tank, man, honestly. He's going to be a light heavyweight. How is he going to make 175 with that frame? I can't see it happening. I can't see it. I really can't see it happening. He's a massive dude for 175, Tommy Fury. Really big dude. Yeah, if Kell Brook wins, Eddie's going to be on the phone straight away. And Kell's going to be like, Ed there, you didn't believe in me, Ed there. You didn't get the fight on Sky, Ed there. Ed there. Yeah, Kell's going to, hopefully Kell tells him where to go. Ed there. I think that's the only impression I can half do, Kell Brook. That's like the only half decent impression I've got. And it's probably not even half decent, to be fair. Yeah, you might be right, BG. I think you're right, mate. I think Eddie's a bit vindictive like that, to be honest, BG. I see Eddie as being vindictive. Not like a Frank Warren. Frank Warren is more open with it. Like, we know what Frank's about, but I think Eddie is a real kind of snidey guy behind the scenes. Just my impressions that I get. Oh, yeah, Amir Khan, Billy Dib. Yeah, that was a joke boxing virus in Saudi Arabia. And Huey Fury fought Samuel Peter as well on that card. That's crazy. And Prince Patel lost on that card as well. That's a circus card. Absolute circus card. Hashtag levels, facts. Hashtag levels. Yeah, Billy Joe as well with his nasal spray in regards to the Ingle Gym. Yeah, Billy Joe's another guy out of the Ingle Gym who's failed a drug test. So there's been a few guys in the Ingle Gym. Kid Galahad, Billy Joe, I believe that cruiserweight Dominic was working with. And also years ago, John Thaxton. I'm sure John Thaxton failed a PED test years ago when he was with the Ingles. So yeah, there are some, there are, where there's smoke, there's fire, basically. Adam Moore, Del Boy, should Brook move back up to middleweight if he loses to Crawford or stay at welterweight? If he loses, bro, I think he's going to retire. There's really nothing available for him if he loses this fight. Maybe if he does continue, I would say 154. Maybe fight Liam Smith, someone like that. That'll be a big domestic fight in the UK. That could sell a few tickets. Well, if we have crowds back, of course. But yeah, I mean, I think he's done, mate. Honestly, backdoor Brook, yeah, that's another thing with Kell Brook. Yeah, a lot of rumors in regards to Kell Brook. Have any of you guys heard that voice note in regards to Kell Brook from somebody in Sheffield? Those who know, but those who don't, it's kind of hard to explain. Yeah, Thomas, I agree. Yeah, Wax boulder chin, bro. That Marius Vax's chin looks like it's been carved out of diamond. It's crazy, man. His chin is massive. It's madness. Cheers, Dixon Cider. Thank you very much, brother. It's always good to see new people here, man. It's always good to see new names. Yeah, Bill Billy. David Tua, man. David Tua had a great chin, bro. Brilliant chin. His fight with Ike Iwabuchi was just gnarly. That was a brutal fight. The punches those guys took in that fight was insane. And I think that fight is what really sent Iwabuchi over the edge. The amount of hard shots he took from David Tua that night couldn't have been good for your brain, honestly. That was nasty. Really was nasty. And yeah, Ike Iwabuchi, in my opinion, funny us talking about him, in my opinion, he could have done so much in boxing if it turned out differently. I thought the guy was very good from what I saw. Very good fighter. He reminded me of Evander Holyfield with a little bit of Mike Tyson in there. His style. Very strong, very robust, very explosive. Ike would have been a very good fighter if it panned out differently. Because you've got to look at it like this. Ike was coming through late 90s, and that's when Evander, Lewis, and Tyson were on the way out. I think Ike Iwabuchi in the late 90s, he would have certainly beat that version of Holyfield and that version of Tyson. Genuinely, I believe that. As for Lennox Lewis, I think Lennox Lewis would have been too long, too tall. But he could have beat a lot of guys, man, Ike Iwabuchi. If his career never got cut short, I think he would have been the second best heavyweight in the world after Lennox in that time period. Just my opinion. I could be wrong, man. It's all hypothetical, but just my opinion. Bump of K. He says Kell's gonna pull it off. Got 8-1 on it. Yep, it's good. They are good odds. If you're feeling confident, it's definitely worth a bet. Yeah, exactly. Speak your mind. Exactly. It's hard to time Ryan for Luke because of the hand speed differential. It's going to be very interesting, however. I agree, bro. That's the acid test for Ryan Garcia. This is the fight where we find out exactly how good this guy is. Because could you imagine? Listen, the kid's very marketable. A lot of people insult him and his fan base and whatnot, and that's cool. I kind of do the same thing. But let's say Ryan Garcia goes in there and blasts out Luke Campbell in a couple of rounds. Can you imagine what that's going to do for his star power? You know, the star power is not only there because of social media hype. He would now have some actual credentials behind it. Knocking out Luke Campbell in a couple of rounds would be a hell of a statement. Like Ryan Garcia, bro. If Ryan Garcia is the truth, this guy is going to be a huge, huge star in boxing. He's got everything in terms of market. He's so marketable. He really is. Like, he could be what's the term they use? He could cross over to like casual audiences and non-boxing audiences, Ryan Garcia, if he actually achieves things. He's got a lot going for him. He really does. Yo, you could make the argument overhand. It'll be up there. It'll be up there. There's no doubt about it. Kell's in bandit land now. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, bruv. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say he is. But you never really know, do you? You never really know. Damn, the Brotherhood. He's pulling it all on the line, man. He's saying Brook hurt Golovkin. He will stop Crawford. Bruv, the only thing I did mention this earlier, like, Kell is definitely the biggest puncher Terence has ever fought, especially at 147. Can Terence take that power, a straight right hand bang on the chin, timed by Kell Brook? Can he take that power? I saw Terence get hurt by Kavalauskas a couple of times. If Kell can land clean, land accurately, land fast, you never know, man. You never know. Kell can punch. Kell can definitely punch at 147. There's no doubt about it. But that's a brave pick. I've got Crawford late stoppage. That's a brave pick. Yeah, Levi, I agree. It's a bad undercard tonight. The Franco Maloney rematch is pretty decent. That's going to be a fun fight. That's going to be a fun fight, Levi. Yeah, neither guy exactly is what you wouldn't call them genuine world class, but that's a decent fight. It's a decent fight. Yeah, Lucas Brown pulled out against Fabio Wardley. Yeah, it's annoying, that is. Fabio Wardley. Sorry, hang on. Lucas Brown pulled out against Fabio Wardley and had as many excuses as Wilder. Now Fabio is fighting Richard Latte. Okay, I never knew that. I never knew he was fighting Latte. That's a decent opponent. It's a decent opponent. Yeah, Calvin Vabanka Brock. Yep, back in the day. Bro, Jay Belo, in my opinion, they need to be made shorter, bruv. They need to be made shorter. I don't want to see it, mate. I don't want to see it. Yeah, Terry O'Connor. Yeah, he refereed Khan Prescott. And of course, he let Khan get knocked the fuck out. Yeah. Again, because Khan was the home fighter, he was trying to give Khan every chance in the world. And it just made it worse for him. Khan got leveled. Do you fucking remember when Terry O'Connor was refereeing Cleverly Kovalev? And he carried Cleverly back to his corner after Kovalev hurt him badly. Can you remember that? It's insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, and he hurt Sean Porter as well, Brotherhood. I don't think he hurt Golovkin, to be honest with you. I think he got his respect. Don't get me wrong. He got his respect, but I don't think he hurt him. But he hurt Sean Porter, who's got a great chin. He can hurt Terence Crawford. He can definitely hurt him. He might have been buzzed. It's always hard to say. It's hard to see sometimes when a guy's buzzed. But he could have done. He certainly got his attention. I'll say that. Bump of K. Kell is 34. That's not ancient. He's the bigger man. He's been in with better fighters. Crawford and Arum are arguing. Upset on the cards tonight. You never know, bro. You never know. That's what I've heard. A lot of people actually use that. There's a conspiracy theory going around that Bob Arum wants Kell Brook to lose because Terence Crawford. No, sorry. Apparently, a lot of people are saying Bob Arum wants Terence Crawford to lose because Terence Crawford's contract is expiring. A lot of people are saying that. He wants, and it would make sense. It would make sense. Maybe similar to Jeff Horn, Manny Pacquiao. Who knows? Listen, man. Boxing's a crazy world. It's a crazy business. Stuff like that happens. I'm sure it does. There's a lot of vindictive people in boxing, and in the world in general. A lot of people are like that in life. If they see someone doing well, they want to bring them down a peg, and see them suffer. A lot of people enjoy suffering and misery, and stranger things have happened. You never know. You never know. Yeah, I like Michael Hunter as well, Bill Billy. I'm a big Michael Hunter fan. It's funny, my favourite heavyweights are actually all cruiserweights. Michael Hunter, Alexander Usyk, and Murat Gassiev. They're my favourite heavyweights, believe it or not. And I like a lot of prospects coming up as well, like Tony Yoka, Makhmadov, all these sort of guys, Hergovich. I've never been a big fan of any of the main heavyweights, like Tyson Fury, Wilder, or Joshua. Never really been big fans of them. Don't know why. I never really, yeah. Yeah, Michael Hunter, exactly, bro. He's in the Who Needs Him club because he's not got a big name, he's not got a big profile, no promoter. He's a cruiserweight going up. If you beat him, you beat a cruiserweight. If you look bad, you look bad against a cruiserweight, and if you lose, you lost to a cruiserweight. Michael Hunter is like high risk, low reward personified. That's what Michael Hunter is. And again, I really want to see Michael Hunter do well. Got a lot of time for him as a fighter, and I like him as a person as well. Michael Hunter, he's a very good dude as well. I like Michael Hunter a lot. I'm the chairman of a Michael Hunter fan club, along with Peterbiev. Say nothing, man. DJ Big Leg, I'd give Luke a good chance of pulling it off. I give Luke a chance of pulling it off. A clean KO would be great. Yeah, I want to see Garcia get hit on the chin, see how he takes it. Luke can target his body, then land on that chin. Yeah, maybe. I'll be honest though, guys. I've always been somebody who has believed that Luke Campbell has ever been so slightly overrated in the past year or so. I think Luke's good. He's a good contender, but I've heard people say Luke Campbell's the third best lightweight in the world. I don't see it. He's a good, solid, sort of low-level top 10 contender. That's how I see Luke Campbell. He's beatable. I think Ryan can knock him out. I genuinely can. I think Ryan can knock him out. And I like Luke Campbell as well. I like him as a person. And he is a good boxer, but I think he's a bit overrated. But he can certainly test Ryan, though. He can definitely test Ryan. Not long till December 5th. When will they announce Caballero versus Fury? Frank was saying that they hope to announce something this week. So, yeah. It'd be interesting to see whether that fight is pay-per-view or not. John Doe, something real sinister about young Vitaly Hergovich. He might beat the shit out of Hunter. He could do. He's a big lump and he can box. Great amateur. He could do. I think Michael's going to give him problems, though. I really do. That in and out movement, the speed. I think it's going to be hard to pin down Michael Hunter, especially early on for Hergovich. I would favour Hergovich, but I think Michael's a really hard fight. It's a really risky fight. If they make that fight, credit to both guys, as far as I'm concerned. Credit to both guys, man, if they make it. Joseph, he says, big up to your Del boy. I hope Tommy does well too. I want to see him fight Marcellus Wilder. Yeah, that fight would actually have some sort of interest, though, because of the names. It would have some sort of interest. I'd watch it. But yeah, Marcellus Wilder's terrible, though. Yeah, even Tommy Fury knocks him out. Marcellus can't hold a shot at all. Listen, man, if on paper this is a mismatch, and essentially we've got, according to the people who say Terence Crawford's pound for pound number one, then he needs to live up to that. He's fighting a dead man, essentially. So Terence needs to look good tonight. He can't afford to look bad, have struggles, because when other fighters who are pound for pound number one, like Roman Gonzalez, like Lomachenko, when these guys had relatively hard fights, they were critiqued beyond, like, they were given a lot of criticism for having shakier performances. Terence needs to look good and dominant. He needs to be dominant in this fight. He does. He needs to be dominant. Can't afford to let Kell Brook have success here. He needs to take care of Kell Brook. But I've not got enough faith in Terence Crawford that he doesn't have problems in this fight. I think Kell can give him problems, even this version of Kell Brook. I really do. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. On paper, this is a mismatch. And Terence needs to make it look like that. If he doesn't, then I hope that hopefully he gets the same sort of criticism guys like Gonzalez got. Because Roman Gonzalez got a lot of criticism when he fought Quadras, I believe. He got a lot of criticism after that fight. That's when he was pound for pound number one. So yeah, you're right, man. 100%. But yeah, I find it interesting. A lot of people are surmising that Aaron wants Crawford to lose tonight, like he did Pacquiao. I find it interesting. Yeah, Brook might fight Khan in the cat. Yeah, he could still fight Khan. People would still watch it over here, but the hype is now gone for that fight. That fight, if that fight happens now, it's a piss take. That fight should have really happened 2015 after Brook won that title, when Khan was unbeaten at welterweight. That's when it should have happened, but they left it too late. Khan was being Khan, and yeah, that's fucking boxing, isn't it? That's boxing. But making that fight now is a slap in the face, in my opinion. Yeah, they're calling it the Ingle Lab. What's going on up there? Don't know, but no one's going to come out and be transparent. They're all going to tell lies. It's like they're having an affair with your wife. They're not going to. Yeah, you're not going to admit it, are you? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Ingle gym is very suspect. Kid Galahad, Billy Joe Saunders, the cruiserweight guy who Dominic Ingle was training as well. He popped dirty. Liam Williams looks very suspect to me. Yeah, Ingle's and Ingle. Look at Dominic Ingle himself, 50 years old, 50 odd years old. Looks like a Adonis. He's juiced to the gills. He really is. Yeah, Marcellus Wilder's chin is one of the worst I've ever seen. Genuinely, like he got knocked out against some journeyman, and it didn't even look like a hard shot at all, man. Crazy. His chin is terrible. Me and Cheeseman get all the honeys at the bar. Oh, Christ. Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? G-Man Boxing, that voice note in regards to Kell Brook. Yeah. A lot of again, they're not exactly substantiated, but the guy was, very, very precise with what he was saying in regards to Kell Brook, his personal life, etc. So I wouldn't be surprised if it is true, to be honest. I really wouldn't be surprised. Hopefully it's not. Bump of K, Ike Ibushi would have been the best of his era. He was tougher, fitter than Tyson. Yeah, I think Ibushi, he would have beaten the late 90s version of Tyson, who was around at that time. I think he would have beaten that version of Tyson, and I think he would have beaten the late 90s version of Holyfield if his career didn't get cut short. Because the late 90s, man, yeah, the late 90s, the heavyweight division was starting to kind of decrease in terms of quality. Fight Film, he says, Kell's getting top ranked tonight, save your money. Yeah, it's funny, they've got a rematch clause for Terence, though, should he lose. It's kind of funny that. It's mad. There's no rematch clauses for like a unification fight, arguably the biggest fight or the best fight of the year. But Terence Crawford gets a rematch clause fighting a dead Kell Brook. There you go. Says it all, really, doesn't it? Says it all. Very Bob Arum is very he's very calculated with what he does. He's very calculated. But there's a reason that Lomachenko Lopez fight had no rematch clause. Bob knew what he was doing, man. He knew what he was doing. And he played a great hand, let's be honest about it. He played a great hand. Bob is a snake, honestly. He's a snake. But what can we say? What can we say? Bump of K, Ryan Garcia is a muppet, but he's a quality fighter. He's going to smoke Campbell. I'm kind of unsure on that fight, to be honest. I'm unsure on it. I think Campbell can test him. Campbell can ask questions, but Campbell's always been a guy who he's always been a nearly man. Luke Campbell never really got it right on the night, but maybe he could beat Ryan Garcia if he lands perfect. I think I do believe Luke hits hard enough to hurt Ryan. I'm not convinced by Ryan's chin. Ryan struggled with Carlos Morales in the past. That fight was a couple of years ago, maybe. And Morales, he's not the same sort of fighter as as Luke. Morales was more of a pressure fighter, but he was really getting inside on Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia had no inside game whatsoever. Obviously, Luke Campbell's not going to fight that sort of fight, but Carlos was hurting Ryan Garcia at times, and Carlos Morales not really a big puncher, so I think Luke can definitely hurt him. Luke's very precise, very sharp with his punches, good straight left out of a southpaw stance, nice timing, nice accuracy. You never know, man. You never know. Yeah, that's the one, boxing professor. Yeah, he was talking about Kell Brook doing coke a few days before the Spence fight, but there was VADA testing and UK drug testing, so I don't know what he was talking about. Do you know what, lads? I wish I could tell. It's funny you say that, but Kell Brook. Do you remember so Kell Brook fought Michael Zarafa, I believe, in. Let me go on BoxRec. I need to find the timeline, but I was told something about this timeline in regards to Kell Brook. There was a reason why he was out of the ring for a long time. 1 second. I'll try and speak in code because I don't want to accuse anybody of anything. But yeah, Michael Zarafa. He fought Michael Zarafa in December 2018, and he then came back over a year later against Mark DeLuca, February 2020. And that long gap of inactivity from Kell Brook, I heard, wasn't just down to not being able to get fights. I'm trying to spell it out without saying it. But you know how UCAD act, right? You know how UCAD are. That's all I'm saying. That's what I've heard from somebody. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's true, given where Kell Brook used to train. Anyway, lads, I'm going to wrap this one up, I only really planned on doing this for an hour. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to the fight tonight, believe it or not. I'm looking forward to it. It's probably going to be a blowout. But again, I don't have as much faith in Terence Crawford as a lot of people do. I think the guy is... I think the guy's very beatable, to be honest with you. And I think the first time... I won't go that far, but I think he's very beatable. And I think Kell Brook could give him problems. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyway, smash the like and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Peace.